Okay, so we're going to make a video of how to operate this Ubit. Gary is going to show us how it's done. Okay, Gary, what's the first step?
So we're doing a right-hand operation today, and we're going to be, first thing, we're inside the engine truck cab, and we're going to lower our axle. This is going to be our stationary axle that lowers down. And at that same time, we're also going to lower our airbags. We're going to give it a few more seconds just to release all the air from the airbags. Then we're going to lock our differential locks. There are three locks, and they lock the front axle and then the rear axle. So you want to take your time in between each step. Give it a few more seconds. We're going to hit the differential lock switch once. That should lock our axles.
So that'll keep your wheels from spinning.
Yes. And we're going to go down here. We're going to turn on the power unit. It's going to power the accessories in the back. Our PTO's on. Our intercom switch, which can communicate with the engineers in the basket. And then we also got our strobe lights and other kill switches if we need to turn off the truck.
Okay, so now we go outside?
Yes, we're going to go outside.
Okay, now we're at the controls, huh?
We're at the controls, and we got the rest of the accessories down here. We'll get into details later. This is the generator. It could power, backup power generator. And then this is the intercom, like I was talking about. You can communicate with the engineers. Let's get into details down here. So the first thing we're going to do, like I said, we're on the right side operation. We're going to lock our axle locks, and then our unit switch is on. We're doing a right hand operation.
Okay, so you got to step on this pedal.
Right here, pedal.
Step on the pedal every time?
Yes, and hold it down. As you see down here, right now our suspension's down and
the axles are engaging.
Moving the counterweight.
Counterweight is moving.
It's moving.
So our axles are locked.
Yes, axles are locked, and then counterweight is moving.
Okay, now they're
all locked. Counterweight
for the right side operation.
Right side operation.
Okay, so you do that by holding down the right side operation button.
Yes.
And stepping on the pedal. Okay.
So the next point is we're going to get our controls out.
That's the one for the basket. That's the one for you, right?
Yeah, so we got one for the ground.
Yes.
And then we got one for the basket for engineers and stuff. You can start this up for a second.
So this takes batteries, or you can plug it in.
Plugged in, yes.
There's a cable that you can plug into it as well. Right here.
We're gonna let that initialize for a second. While that gets started up, we're gonna uninstall it right here. We're gonna latch it.
So you're gonna latch the boom?
Boom, yes. It holds it down.
That secures the boom for travel, right?
Yes.
What are these lights right here, Gary?
So right here we got the B3 stove. This is our boom 3. This is our boom 1.
So we got boom 3
and boom 2.
Boom 2.
And then this is T1.
This is boom 1, right?
Yes. Boom 1, T1, and then boom 1 down here, and then we got T2 down there. And
boom 4's down there. So T2, B3, okay. B4. Okay.
Back at control, we're gonna.
So these lights again, that tells you that your boom 3 is stowed, and that your T1 turret 1 is stowed. Okay.
We're gonna get back to our control, and our axle lock is still on. We're gonna go back. We're gonna move it back to our control unit.
So you gotta put unit on, number 5 unit on, right?
We're gonna X out. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna turn on our radio control.
You're putting the cable on. You're connecting the cable to it?
Yes.
Okay. And you pull up on this red switch for emergency stop. Then this little toggle switch to start.
Yes. So it's connected to the port, and then we're going to turn on the radio control on, which is ground.
So radio ground is on.
It's on. We're going to X out. And we're going to do platform leveling. That's the B4 with the basket.
Okay.
And
so B4
with the basket.
With the basket there.
We're going to unstow it. So we're going to turn it on manual. It's off right now. We're going to turn it on manual. Then we're going to press unstow. But remember, we have to hold our foot pedal down.
Okay, and that's going to unstow this basket. Go ahead. There you go. As you see. Now you can also automatically do that.
Once it's right there, we're going to put it on automatic. We're going to switch it over from manual, put it on automatic. And then at the same time, we're going to lower our boom 4 down.
Okay, so let me see what switches you're using here.
Right here.
Boom 4, the yellow one.
Yes.
Boom 4 is yellow. You're going to go down.
Down, and we're going to
that
retract it out.
Boom 4 is going, and the platform is leveling.
Yes, and we're also going to retract it out right here, B4. This is our retract. B4 retracted. It retracts the boom 4.
Okay. So it extends that last boom out of B4.
We're going to give, for example, we're going to give the controls to the engineers, and then they're going to settle in, hook up their system.
Okay, so they'll attach that inside the basket.
Then while they do that, we got this.
Okay, so these are the platform legs here, huh?
Yes.
To secure it during travel. You got 2 of those. You want to put those down so you don't accidentally hit it with the boom, right?
Yeah. Basket. Once the engineers are back in the basket, we're going to secure them in. Locked, doors locked, platform. It's in good condition. We already checked that as pre-op. Once they're secured and ready to go, they're going to give us a hand signal, which indicates they're ready to go and to be deployed. Go back up. put it from automatic, still on. We can turn that off and put it to manual. We're gonna X out.
Back up again, please. Go back to where you were. Okay, you want to put the platform on manual?
Yes. And turn it off from automatic. It's either or. We could do both. We could actually leave it on automatic.
You want it to automatically level,
or the engineers could also manually do it. But we can leave it on automatic. And then we're gonna X out. And then right now the engineers are ready to get into be deployed out. So we're gonna put our boom 4 up.
Boom 4's
up,
yellow.
And we're gonna retract at the same time.
And boom 4 retract
at the same time.
So it's lifting and retracting. Boom 4.
So once they're at the clearance level, which should be right there, this looks fine. We're gonna retract. So we're ready to deploy out. So boom 1, leveling up and down. This is gonna lift B3 up.
So B3 is
gonna be up.
Lower boom there, B3.
It's gonna lift up.
So we're gonna lift that.
Yep.
How?
And so you gotta hold down B1 up and then leveling out. So leveling is gonna be in, and then B1 is gonna be up. So that's gonna lift it up.
Okay. And you do it both all at the same time.
Sometimes you need to make adjustments, and
okay, because you want it to come up. You want it to come up even, right? There you go. Okay, and now
we're gonna watch out for this marker down here. That this does not go up more than that, and there's also another indicator back behind here.
The wheel along the. Okay, go ahead and go on up.
Come up. Keep your eye out.
Bring it up to its stopping point. See the roller there rolling along the plate, and that's about as high as you want to go with that.
Also got to make sure there's no electrical wires and it's not going to hit the basket and all that.
Okay, always be aware of your surroundings. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to swing it out?
Yes, so in order to do that, we're going to use T1 and T2. So T1 is this.
T1 is turret 1, the one you're standing on,
yes.
the main
then,
one.
And then turret 2, which is there, T2.
T2 is here. Okay. So you're going to operate those at the same time?
Operate those at the same time.
T1 and T2?
Yes.
And you're going to go...
T1 is going to go counterclockwise.
For a right-hand deploy?
Right-hand deploy, and then T2 is going to go clockwise.
For right-hand deploy?
For right-hand deploy.
Okay, and you got to do them both at the same time?
Same time.
Okay. Turn it all the way, Gary. Okay, so at this point, you got T1 turned all the way.
All the way, and our T3 and T2 is straight. It's lined up.
Okay, so at this point here, you pretty much hand it over to the engineers, right?
We're gonna hand it over, and they got their own control up there. So we're gonna back out, go to radio controls.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the radio controls.
Yes, and we're gonna turn off our ground radio control, which is gonna turn off this.
Okay, it's gonna turn off your controller.
And then we're gonna give them access.
Platform
Radio control,
platform on.
And then
now they have control.
They have control, but you also want to give them a second to see if their control's working. And once they give you a hand signal, everything's good, and it's theirs, and we're ready to move on forward. We need.
Okay. And then we basically reverse all this when it's time to stow the unit, right?
Yes, we're gonna do the same old thing.
Okay. So we're out there, we're ready to go over the bridge. The engineers got control. So now we're gonna take back control.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and take back control of the unit.
So radio platform, it's gonna be off, and ours radio ground control.
So ground control is back on.
Back on, yes.
So they will be green for on, red for off.
For off, yes. Next out, or you can leave it on. So now you want to do the opposite. Turn it. You're gonna have T1, which is gonna go clockwise, and then turn it to, it's gonna go counterclockwise.
Okay,
just
so
the opposite.
you're gonna do the opposite to bring it back in.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. And you do it both at the same time. So Gary's now bringing it back into the stowed position. There are a couple things to watch out for when you're doing this. You want to bring this T1, you want to turn it in far enough so this T2 doesn't hit that exhaust right there. You want to bring it in further so the roller touches up against the roller plate. Go ahead and bring that in. You want it all the way in to touch that roller plate, right there. Now bring your T1 in until that light comes on. So go ahead and turn T1. Okay, T1 light came on. That means it's ready to be stowed. Or T1 is stowed. Now we're going to lower boom 3 to its stowed position, and that light will come on.
So we're going to use boom 1 and leveling in, and it's gonna leveling out. It's gonna bring
boom 1 down or
yes.
boom 3 down.
Yes.
Boom 3 down and leveling out, right? You have to re-step the pedal each motion. You got to set the pedal. Now he's going to bring boom 3 down. You might have to give a little more to the boom 3 down to get it to level out. Always watch the end down here so it doesn't hit the bed of the truck. That's why you want to go down a level. Okay, it's sitting in its pad there. It's all the way down. Our B3 stow light is on. That means we are stowed. Boom 3 is stowed. T1 is stowed.
Well, we also got to bring down the engineers on B4.
So now, bringing down the engineers, B4. So again, it's boom 1. Boom 4 down.
Boom 4 down and retract.
Run those both at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
That will extend boom 4 out and down so the engineers can get out of the basket. And at that time, while they're getting out of the basket, we will strap down boom 3, boom 2, and boom 3
yes.
for travel.
This is ready to travel, and we're going to strap it down.
always want this strapped down for travel. That's where the basket rests for travel. You got two of these legs, you got to put them back up before you bring the basket up. And again, you always want those down when you're deploying it so you don't hit these with boom 3 when you're trying to deploy it. Ratchet down nice and tight.
Nice and tight. And we're ready to bring up B4.
Okay, we're going to bring B4 up now and retract the basket at the same time. Again, these lights tell us that we are ready. We're stowed.
So we still have to bring up B4 before we maneuver. B4 up and retract.
So B4 up and retract. Once it's all the way retract, then you'll do what? You'll stow the basket. It's very important to always have that completely retracted before you stow that basket. So let's stow it. Okay, go back.
So we're going to
platform leveling.
Yes. Hold that down, and we're going to turn it off from automatic to manual. And we're going to stow it. But when you stow it, you have to press this down and roll down your foot, and which is stowing.
Okay, so the stow button, and now the basket is stowing. And again, it's important to have that retracted before you stow it.
So we're going to B4 up.
Boom 4 up. And it's going to rest that basket right in these stands. Now it's ready for travel. Basket's in place. Okay, now we have to go back and unlock the axles.
We're going to go to axle
You
lock.
do not want to drive this with axles locked.
No.
It'll create some serious damage.
It will. So our axle lock unit on. Our axle lock locks on. So remember how in the beginning we started from we were doing a right-hand operation. So we're going to return from the right side operation.
Okay, so we're going to return from the right side operation.
So hold it down.
Hold the pedal down and push the button.
So now it's showing you that it's doing counterweight moving.
Counterweight is flashing. Counterweight is stowed. Now the axle locks are unlocking. And it will flash red once they are unlocked completely. There.
So yeah,
it's all red.
Yep.
Everything is unlocked, everything is stowed. Okay, now we got to turn the unit back on.
Back on.
Okay.
That should end our process outside.
Okay. So now we'll disconnect our controls, our ground controls. Again, you can use batteries or plug it into the main plug. I find it works a lot better when you plug it into the main plug. Responds faster. Cap off the plug so the elements don't get to them. Okay, so now you got to get back in the cab?
Yes, we're going to get back in the cab once we put these controls away.
There's also a manual in here. If you need to refer to the manual, there's an Aspen arial manual in there. It's a sensitive machine and it's kind of complicated, but once you get used to it, it's just second nature. Okay, so we got to reverse everything inside the cab now.
So we're gonna do everything in reverse order. Turn off our intercom communication. Turn off our PTO. Our power unit's off. Our cameras are off. We're gonna put up our suspension. That's gonna inflate the airbags. Once it does that, give it a few seconds.
Actually, that switch there raises your airbags.
Yes, it raises up the airbags. And then the lift axle is going to go up.
So you're going to lift your third axle up, okay?
Give it a second. And then we're going to we're going to turn off our differentials off one by one.
Yeah, you don't want to drive with differentials locked or your PTO on. You want these all off during travel. Okay, so now you're ready for travel?
Yes.
Okay,
ready for travel.
That pretty much ends the video. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.